people to another one of my little videos. Today I'm going to show you how I fit the alternator belt on my BMW R1150 GS. It's how I fit it, it's not necessarily how you should fit it. I want to change the alternator belt, which is in here. But because this bike has got a sidecar outfit attached, there's a lot of extra metalwork and framework that you wouldn't normally have on a standard run-of-the-mill 1150. The purists should turn their face away now, because I'm now going to change the alternator belt how you're not supposed to do it. I do try my best to try and show people how to do things properly and how I've been shown. Unfortunately, the next piece is how you shouldn't do it. You're supposed to undo this panel. You're supposed to undo the pinch bolts at the front. Let the alternator, which is buried up here at the top, drop down. Take off the belt. Put the belt back on. You're supposed to put a torque wrench in at the back, and in reverse you're supposed to lift the alternator up. Put the belt under tension and tighten the pinch bolts off. Now that's basically really quickly, that's how you do it the correct way. Unfortunately, with this frame here and here, I can't get a torque wrench into the back of the alternator, and also I can't effectively, trying to get this cover off is interesting, but even when I do, to try and undo the pinch bolts to release the alternator, yeah, that's interesting as well. So anyway, let's get on and do it. When I put the Allen key into this bolt here, I can't get enough leverage on it because that part of the Allen key is short, and I can't get the Allen key in there either because there's too much metalwork in the way. So if I put the Allen key in that way, put a spanner onto the end of the Allen key, just twist. The spanner just puts enough leverage on the Allen key, and I can undo it. The spanner on there. Yeah, this job should not be done while the engine's warm. Whilst it's absolutely fantastic and beneficial to the handling of the bike to have all of this subframe on, it's a bit of a pain in the bum to get that cover off. That belt's slightly loose anyway, and I think it's past its best. So, time for a change. A little bit of a telltale sign. This is the front panel off of the engine, and hopefully you can see, if I rub my finger, you can see where my fingerprint is, or has been, and that is rubber off of the belt, and that's where the belt has been slipping. So smack on the wrist from me, really. That belt should have been changed a while ago. On the front of the engine, hopefully you can see where the spanner is. There's two 13mm nuts. It's actually a nut, so there's only one 13mm nut, and there's a 13mm bolt on the other side where my finger is. So there's a 13mm bolt this side and a 13mm nut that side, and when you release those two fixing points, so one's a nut, one's a bolt, right now they are loose. What am I missing? I'm missing something. What I was missing was, there's another nut right at the top of the engine. That is the last pinch bolt is holding the alternator up. Here you go, alternator drops down and the belt comes off. So there's the belt. Written on your old belt should be a number, and you definitely need to make sure that the belt you order has those numbers on it, otherwise the belt you may receive in the post may be too long. So make sure that you put the right size belt on. So like I said, the belt that came off has a number on it. It's 4PK611, new box, 4PK611. If you're not sure, just make sure that they are actually the right length. Otherwise, well, it won't fit. Nothing left to do now except put the belt on. I have given all of the area in around the back of the pulley and everything a nice clean. In fact, I think I'm going to put it on the bottom first because that's connected to the crank, and then put it onto the alternator. There you go. So it's in place now. Now this is the part that I said earlier. This is how not to do it. Keeping in mind all of this metal structure is both sides of the engine. There's no way I can get to the back of the alternator. So yeah, this is the bit that I suggest you don't try at home. This is the only way I can tighten this up. How not to do it. I've tightened up the bolt on this side and the nut at the top, right in the middle, and the nut on this side is still loose. So this is literally just finger tight, and so is the top one. So they're not what you would call tight. So there's still going to be a certain amount of movement. What I want is to allow the alternator to slide upwards. So here we go. So this is how not to do it. So I'm lifting up the alternator, just checking that it's tight enough. Tighten off the pinch bolt on the far side. You don't have to put a huge amount of pressure on the pulley. In fact, there you go. I just released it. That's tight enough. So is that. And now it's just the faff at the top one. There's nothing left except to put the cover back on. Well, I've managed to get the front cover on, and believe me when I tell you, it was a complete faff. It's taken me the best part of half an hour to do it. And just to keep me mate in Austria happy, I'm now putting copper slip on the bolts that are taken off, so we can all sleep at night, eh Russ? I guess it's a bit of a lesson learnt really. If you're going to put a sidecar onto a motorbike, at some point the motorbike is going to have to be serviced. People who build sidecars, please take heed. Clearly what I just did was not the ideal way of doing it. Okay, trust me when I'm going to tell you. I'm going to put the other 3 bolts in, and I'll put copper slip on the 3 bolts. We've made it to the end of another video. If you've made it this far, thanks ever so much for watching. Please leave a comment in the comment section below. Please leave a thumbs up if you've enjoyed the video. If you haven't enjoyed the video, please leave a thumbs down. And until next time people, take care.